Quote from the book: "Unbundled prices aim at breaking down the total price of a product or service into relevant cost elements in order to invite separate bids for each of these elements during a tendering process." Unbundling prices has two aspects. The obvious one is saving money, but the less obvious and probably more important one is asking yourself what you are paying your supplier for. Or more bluntly, are we paying the supplier to work for us or against us? In this video, I will show you how H3 unbundling prices works, and I will illustrate it with examples from the automotive industry. Let's get started. From a high-level perspective, lumping development costs together with the piece price can make a lot of sense for a buyer. It makes comparisons between offers from different suppliers more objective and easy to perform. And it holds the supplier accountable for delivering something that works, and it potentially reduces the risk of a cost creep. And it greatly reduces the admin effort for the buyer. Reality is a bit different, especially on the third point regarding the reduced risk of a cost creep. What really happens is that after business award, the specifications of a part often change. This can be triggered by an adjacent part that needs to change because otherwise it would not perform as required in the car, and this change has impact on your part. Or it can also be an original change to your part that has been required by engineering or product marketing. And each one of these changes presents an opportunity for the supplier to increase the price. Sometimes the price increase will be justified, but often it is not. And the closer we get to SOP, the less bandwidth your team will have to challenge the cost creep. We have looked at this across a number of industries and have seen that on average the cost increase between business award to the supplier and SOP is 7%. So this shows that reducing the risk of a cost creep through lumping development costs together with the piece price does not work. And we will come back to this topic later in the video. Okay, let's now get to the two reasons for unbundling prices. The first one is cost reduction. Especially for larger engineering and development efforts, it does make sense to look at the cost breakdown. A lot of American and European suppliers may appear to have all of the engineering teams in or close to headquarters. But when you dig a little deeper, you will find an amazing number of people in places with lower labor costs like Mexico and India. There's nothing wrong with global engineering teams, and with 24-hour engineering that follows the sun, you can get a great speed boost. But at the same time, you should not pay German rates for Indian wages unless you want to make your supplier rich. But cost reduction really is a smaller issue here. The second issue is much bigger. And here we come back to what happens between business award and SOP. And the key question is, what are you paying your supplier for? To work for you or to work against you? I'm pretty sure that with the development cost lumped together with the piece price, you are paying the supplier to work against you. In such a scenario, the supplier has all the incentive to quote an almost unreasonably low price. The supplier can be pretty sure that with every engineering change request that will come in almost certainly, there will be ample opportunity to yank up prices. You pay the supplier to work against you. This type of behavior that is often aided by dysfunctional internal processes has turned many promising projects into commercial failures. Unbundling the development cost from the piece price gives you the opportunity to pay the supplier to work for you. First, you and the supplier agree on reasonable development cost, taking into account where the development work is actually happening and what the associated labor cost is. And you do something similar for the piece price, of course. Then you sit down with the supplier and discuss the dynamics of what is usually happening between business award and SOP. And don't just blame the supplier for the cost creep. A lot of this is caused by you and your peers. Tell the supplier what kind of outcome you would like to see. If the average cost creep is 7%, set a 2% target. If the supplier manages to steer the development work to a cost creep of less than 2%, then the supplier earns a bonus. And often an even sweeter bonus if the supplier manages to steer toward a cost reduction. The details of this will depend on the specific situation of the project, but you get the idea. So let's take a quick look at where we are in the purchasing chessboard. H3 is all the way to the right and halfway to the bottom. So we are in an area where we are pretty dominant and we are likely dealing with a lot of suppliers working on many adjacent projects in parallel. Managing all the cost creeps between business award by yourself could easily overwhelm your organization. But by setting the right incentives for suppliers, you harness them for achieving your objectives. So there you have it, a method to keep development costs at bay and at the same time curb the cost creep between business award and SOP. Okay, now it is your turn. Are you lumping development costs together with piece prices? Or do you unbundle? What are the pros and cons? Should you have any question, let me know in the comments down below and I promise to get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you for watching and I see you in the next one. Bye!